Ladies and gentlemen, life has a funny way of testing us. It throws storms at us when we least expect them. It shakes our confidence, pushes us to our limits, and sometimes even makes us question our worth. But let me tell you something. Hard times don't break strong people, they create them. I stand before you not as someone who's had it easy, but as someone who has faced rejection, failures, doubts, and moments when giving up seemed like the only option. But every single time I ask myself, is this where my story ends? And the answer was always no. Struggles are not obstacles, they are opportunities in disguise. When life challenges us, it isn't trying to break us, it's trying to make us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Every great success story is built on a foundation of adversity. The road to greatness is never a straight, smooth path. It's filled with detours, roadblocks, and storms that test our patience, strength, and determination. But the real question is, how do we respond to these struggles? Do we let them define us, or do we rise above them and use them to shape our destiny? There is something powerful about embracing struggle instead of running from it. Too often people see difficulties as something to be avoided, something that signals failure or weakness. But in reality, the most extraordinary people in the world are those who have faced the harshest trials and emerged stronger. Think of a seed buried deep in the soil. In the darkness it struggles, pushes against the dirt, and fights its way toward the light. Without that struggle, it would never grow into a tree. In the same way, our struggles are preparing us for something greater. When we face hardships, we often ask, why is this happening to me? But a more powerful question is, what is this teaching me? Every setback holds a lesson. Maybe it's patience, maybe it's perseverance, or maybe it's the strength to let go of things that no longer serve us. The struggles we go through are the universe's way of shaping us into the people we are meant to become. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. If everything came easy, we would never push ourselves beyond our limits. A bodybuilder doesn't gain muscle by lifting light weights. They grow stronger by lifting heavier ones, pushing through the burn and embracing the discomfort. The same applies to life. The more we push ourselves through difficult situations, the stronger we become. Each challenge builds resilience, each failure teaches wisdom, and each heartbreak makes us more compassionate. Sometimes struggles feel endless. There are days when everything seems to go wrong, when the weight of expectations, failures, and responsibilities feels too heavy to bear. In these moments, it's easy to believe that we are alone, that no one understands what we are going through. But struggles are universal. Every successful person you admire has faced rejection, failure, and moments of doubt. What sets them apart is their ability to embrace those struggles instead of letting them define them. Pain has a purpose. It forces us to dig deeper, to discover strengths we never knew we had. It makes us appreciate victories, big and small. If we never experienced failure, success wouldn't feel as rewarding. If we never faced rejection, acceptance wouldn't mean as much. If we never lost anything, we wouldn't understand the true value of what we have. Struggles teach us gratitude, patience, and the ability to adapt. They push us to think differently, to find solutions where others see dead ends. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when you question whether the struggle is worth it. But remember this: every storm runs out of rain. Hard times don't last forever, but the strength you gain from them does. The key is to face them head on, to refuse to let them break you, and to believe that something incredible is waiting on the other side of perseverance. Struggles are not punishments, they are preparations. They are molding you into the person you are destined to be. Instead of fearing them, embrace them. They are the fuel that will take you to places you never imagined. Resilience is the ability to keep going when everything seems to be falling apart. It is the quiet strength that pushes you forward when the world tells you to stop. Life is unpredictable, and at some point everyone faces setbacks, failures, and disappointments. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is resilience. The ability to rise again and again, no matter how many times life knocks you down. It is not about avoiding hardships, but learning how to navigate through them with unwavering determination. Challenges come in many forms. Some are personal, like heartbreak, loss, or self-doubt. Others are professional, like rejection, failure, or missed opportunities. In those moments, it is easy to feel defeated, to think that maybe success is just not meant for you. But the truth is, resilience is not about never feeling pain or disappointment. It is about how you respond to it. Do you let failure define you, or do you use it as a stepping stone towards something greater? Every successful person has a story of resilience. The greatest athletes, the most influential leaders, and the most creative minds in the world have all faced setbacks. They have all heard no more times than they can count. They have all been doubted, underestimated, and told that they wouldn't make it. But they kept going. They refused to let obstacles stop them. They understood that setbacks are temporary, but resilience is permanent. Resilience is built in moments of struggle. When you are faced with adversity, you have two choices: give up or push forward. It is in those moments of difficulty that your true strength is revealed. The human spirit is far more powerful than we often realize. We are capable of enduring more than we think, and the only way to discover our true potential is by refusing to give up when things get tough. Resilience is not just about enduring pain, it is about transforming it into power. Every failure carries a lesson, every rejection builds character, and every hardship makes you stronger. When you shift your perspective and see struggles as opportunities for growth, you stop fearing them. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, you start seeing them as tests of your strength. You understand that challenges are not meant to break you, they are meant to prepare you for something bigger. One of the greatest misconceptions about resilience is that it means being strong all the time. But true resilience is not about never feeling weak or never breaking down. It is about acknowledging your struggles, allowing yourself to feel, and then choosing to rise anyway. It is about standing back up every time you fall, no matter how long it takes. Strength is not measured by how little you struggle, but by how fiercely you continue despite the struggles. Life does not always go according to plan. There will be moments when things seem unfair, when the odds are stacked against you, and when success feels out of reach. But resilience reminds you that setbacks are not the end of the road. They are merely part of the journey. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who refuse to stay down. Resilience is not something you are born with, it is something you build. It is a muscle that gets stronger every time you push through adversity. It is a mindset that refuses to accept defeat. No matter how many times you face rejection, failure, or heartbreak, resilience tells you to keep moving. It reminds you that as long as you are still standing, you are still in the fight. Life is not a script set in stone. No matter where you come from, what you've been through, or how many times you've stumbled, you have the power to rewrite your story. Too often, people believe that their past defines them, that their failures, mistakes, and hardships dictate their future. But the truth is, your story is still being written, and you hold the pen. Every day is an opportunity to change the narrative, to break free from old limitations, and to create the life you truly deserve. Many of us grow up believing certain things about ourselves. Maybe you were told that you weren't smart enough, talented enough, or capable enough. Maybe past failures convinced you that success wasn't meant for you. Maybe you've settled for less because you thought that was all you could get. But here's the thing, none of that has to be true unless you let it be. The stories we tell ourselves become our reality. But the moment we decide to change that story, we take back our power. Rewriting your story begins with letting go of limiting beliefs. It means understanding that your past does not define your future. Just because you've failed before does not mean you will fail again. Just because you've been rejected does not mean you are not worthy. Every single person who has ever accomplished something great has had to overcome doubt, fear, and failure. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. They refuse to let their past control their future. Change starts with a decision. The moment you decide that you're no longer going to live by the limitations of your past, you take the first step toward rewriting your story. It doesn't matter if you've made mistakes, it doesn't matter if you've been through hardships. What matters is what you choose to do next. Some of the most inspiring success stories come from people who have been knocked down time and time again but refused to stay there. They didn't wait for someone else to change their lives for them. They took control, rewrote their narrative, and created a new future for themselves. Rewriting your story also means embracing growth. The person you were 5 years ago, a year ago, or even yesterday does not have to be the person you are today. Growth means evolving, learning from past experiences, and using them to shape a better version of yourself. Too often, people stay stuck in the same patterns because they're afraid of change. They hold on to old identities, old habits, and old ways of thinking, even when those things no longer serve them. But growth requires letting go. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone and daring to be something more. Sometimes rewriting your story means walking away from things that no longer align with who you are becoming. It might mean leaving behind toxic relationships, outdated dreams, or environments that limit your potential. It might mean taking risks, making bold moves, and trusting yourself even when the future is uncertain. Change is never easy, but staying stuck in a story that no longer serves you is even harder. At any moment, you have the power to turn the page and start a new chapter. You are not bound by what has already happened. Your failures are not the end of your journey. Your struggles are not permanent. You are the author of your own life, and as long as you are willing to take control of your narrative, you can create a future that is brighter, stronger, and more powerful than anything you've ever imagined. Pain is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It can break you or it can build you. It can make you feel weak or it can make you unstoppable. The difference lies in how you choose to respond to it. Turning pain into power is not about pretending that struggles don't hurt. It's about using that hurt to fuel your strength, ambition, and resilience. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. When you take control of your pain and redirect it into something meaningful, you transform yourself into a force that cannot be broken. Pain comes in many forms. It could be the sting of failure, the heartbreak of rejection, the weight of loss, or the exhaustion of struggling for something that seems out of reach. It can make you question yourself, make you doubt your worth, and make you want to give up. But pain is not the enemy. In fact, some of the greatest stories of success, transformation, and impact have been fueled by pain. So, the most extraordinary people in the world, leaders, artists, entrepreneurs, athletes, have all faced deep struggles. What sets them apart is that they did not let their pain consume them. They turned it into their greatest strength. Pain has the ability to teach us things we would never learn in comfort. It forces us to grow, to adapt, and to see life from a perspective we might not have otherwise considered. Every painful experience carries a lesson. Failure teaches resilience. Betrayal teaches self-reliance. Loss teaches appreciation. Hardship teaches endurance. When you stop seeing pain as a punishment and start seeing it as preparation, you unlock a level of power you never knew existed within you. Turning pain into power requires a shift in mindset. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, how can I use this to make me stronger? Instead of dwelling on what was lost, focus on what can be gained. Every difficult moment has the potential to shape you into someone wiser, tougher, and more unstoppable. The key is to take the energy of your pain and channel it into something productive. Let it push you toward your goals instead of holding you back. Let it fuel your determination instead of draining your hope. Some of the most successful people in the world have built their dreams from the foundation of their pain. They have used rejection as motivation, failure as a lesson, and heartbreak as fuel to become stronger. The most inspiring stories are not the ones where everything went right, but the ones where everything went wrong, yet the person refused to give up. Think about the greatest leaders, artists, and innovators. Many of them have endured hardships that seemed impossible to overcome, but they didn't let pain define them, they let it drive them. Pain can either paralyze you or propel you. It can make you bitter or make you better. The choice is always yours. When life knocks you down, you can either stay down, drowning in the weight of your struggles, or you can stand up, look pain in the face, and say, watch me rise. The fire that was meant to destroy you can be the same fire that forges your strength. The storm that was meant to break you can be the same storm that pushes you to new heights. The wounds that were meant to weaken you can be the very mark that remind you of your power. Pain is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of something greater. When you decide to take control of it, to use it instead of letting it use you, you unlock a force within you that nothing in this world can stop. The strength you need is already inside of you. All you have to do is harness it. Belief in yourself is the foundation of everything you will ever achieve in life. It is the invisible force that keeps you moving forward when nothing seems to be going right. It is the quiet voice in your head that tells you to keep going when the world is screaming for you to stop. No matter how many obstacles you face, how many people doubt you, or how many times you fail, the one thing that will always determine your success is your ability to believe in yourself. When you hold on to that belief, nothing is impossible. The world is full of opinions, expectations, and judgments. People will always have something to say about what you should do, who you should be, and what you are capable of. Some will support you while others will try to tear you down. But the real question is, what do you believe about yourself? Do you see yourself as capable, strong, and worthy? Or do you let the doubts of others define your limits? The moment you stop seeking external validation and start trusting your own potential, you take control of your destiny. Self-belief is not about arrogance or thinking that you are perfect. It is about understanding that you are capable of growth, that you can learn from mistakes, and that you have the strength to keep going no matter what happens. Every person who has ever achieved greatness started with nothing but belief. They didn't always have the resources, the experience, or the opportunities handed to them, but they had an unshakable conviction that they were meant for more, and they refused to give up. That belief carried them through rejection, failure, and moments of uncertainty. Doubt is the biggest enemy of success. It sneaks into your mind when things get tough, whispering that you are not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. But self-doubt is just fear in disguise. It is not based on truth. It is based on the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of stepping outside your comfort zone. And fear only has power over you if you let it. The only way to silence doubt is to keep pushing forward, to keep proving to yourself that you are stronger than your fears. There will be times when your belief in yourself is tested. You will face setbacks that make you question whether you are on the right path. You will encounter people who do not see your potential, who tell you to settle for less, who try to convince you that your dreams are unrealistic. But remember this: every great achiever, every innovator, every trailblazer was once told that their dreams were impossible. What made them different? They refused to listen. They chose to believe in themselves even when no one else did. Believing in yourself does not mean you will never fail. In fact, failure is part of the journey. Every mistake you make is a lesson. Every rejection is redirection. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. The key is to never let failure define you. Instead of seeing it as proof that you are not good enough, see it as evidence that you are trying, learning, and getting closer to success. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who never stop believing in their ability to rise again. Self-belief is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you use it. Every time you push through doubt, every time you take a step forward despite fear, every time you remind yourself that you are capable, your belief in yourself gets stronger. The more you believe, the more you achieve. And once you truly understand that nothing can stop you except your own doubt, you become unstoppable.